Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Darlene. Appreciate you being here today. I will be doing a reading today about, it's a collective reading, so whoever finds it is meant to find it. It is timeless. All my readings are timeless. But I just want to do a check-in to see sort of what are the general energies that are coming toward us. Kind of heads up. What do we need to know as a collective? So here we go. I'll be shuffling the deck and then give you the messages. And while I'm shuffling, please let me give you a couple of little items here of business. I do have lots of other playlists on my channels. I do go live also here on YouTube 2 or 3 times a week. So if you are subscribed and you've hit your notification bell, YouTube will notify you. And I say that because not everyone, but on a lot of them, I do start the reading with a free reading for someone. But you have to get there in the first 30 to 60 seconds. That's how quickly they go. So be sure your notifications are turned on. Let's see what else. We already got some cards coming out here. This is awesome. Yes, I have memberships. I've started memberships on my channel, and I have special perks for you and a couple of different levels of memberships. I hope you will check that out. I give, let's see, I have 2 different memberships, as I said. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the energy's already pulling me here with these cards. I do behind the scenes videos, behind the curtain rather, is what I call it. I also do, wow, this is a big energy I'm feeling here. Members only content and also members only live chat. So I hope you will go over and see if you like that, if that resonates with you. All right, and lastly, I do also have a playlist of deceased loved ones. I'm also a medium, so if you've lost a loved one, please go and see if your loved one might have a message for you there on that list. Oh, let's see here. All right. Cautionary tale. I see. Oof. Oof, okay. And let me see. I know you probably cannot see these cards, so let me see if I can get that's better for you, right? A lot of us, whether it's in, now remember, this is a general reading and it's collective for a lot of people. But many of you are feeling like you're losing passion in life. Things are complicated. Things are not going in your favor. Some of you may feel like you've missed an opportunity recently, or more than one possibly. Again, things you feel are just not going in your favor. No matter what you do, you can't seem to get ahead. So some of you are pulling back, and I think this is a good thing. This card can represent meditation, by the way. I do have a 3-part video instruction on meditation. One is about the breathing, one is about meditation itself, and then the third one is a guided meditation in my higher level membership. So just let you know that. It's not that long, and it's very, very useful. I've been meditating personally now for, I don't know, 35, 40 years. Yeah, about 37 years now that I do the math. But I've been teaching meditation for close to 30 years. So if that interests you and you need a tool to help you cope with all this life is throwing at us, please go and consider that membership. But this card can actually mean meditation, but it means taking a time out to heal. I think so many of us are just engrossed now. Not me, because I have turned off news. I don't watch news. I unplugged from that a few years ago. I watch selective little tidbits here and there, just enough to keep abreast of most of the big stuff in life. But it's depressing for the most part, and energetically, because I'm a big proponent of talking about energy and law of attraction and manifestation and law of assumption, that if you're focusing on all that bad news, you're going to get more of it. What you think about, you bring about. What you focus, you're going to bring more of into your life. So remember that. And so for many of you, you need to unplug. You need to literally unplug from those things, and especially from social media that puts so much, well, no, let me restate that. Self-imposed pressure on us for many things if you allow it to. And so in that vein, many of us, you, have not been listening to your intuition, not been paying attention. And Spirit now is saying, I want you to see this. I'm shining a light on this. This is something you need to be aware of. You need to take more time out. I'm hearing that loud and clear, not just because I have meditation videos in my membership. I mean, really, so many people are just, you're like robots walking around. You have no clue of what you really want. You're just going through the motions of life. You've lost touch with what your heart wants. So, I mean, I'm kind of channeling that message. Anyway, yeah, and this is where you, look at these cards. I'm not making this up. This is stress and anxiety. This is where many of you find yourself about many things. And I think it's saying that it seems like nothing, we can't depend on anything anymore. Everything's changing so fast and so rapidly, and almost to the point that we feel like making any decision is reckless, or maybe things are changing so fast that it feels reckless, that we can't really settle on something we love. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Spirit is asking you to take the time out to come out of that. In the upright, this is self-imposed mental prison, analysis paralysis. And in the reverse, it means somebody who's finally coming out of that. But it's a choice. Remember, folks, if you're not changing, you are choosing. So it is a choice to stay in that negative energy and keep getting pulled into that vortex of information that many of us live in, or to unplug, and you're starting to get clarity that that's what you need to do, which will lead you to more happiness in your life. Yes, more happiness, fulfillment. And it's interesting, I don't often get this message from this card, but the Five of Swords in the upright talks about winning at all costs. It can be mind games. But in the reverse, it talks about sometimes, well, certainly making amends, but one of the lesser known meanings is that because swords represents communication and thoughts in tarot. So in the reverse, it can talk about you getting caught up in things by no fault of your own that ended up being hurtful and disappointing. I'm back to that news thing. I mean, that's just an example. It could be a dynamic at your office or with your family. It could be any number of things. So Spirit is asking you, think about what you want to invest in for the long term. Don't waste your resources on things that you have no control over, period. And by the way, you have no control over any of it, nothing. The only thing you have control over is what's inside of you, is you. Just saying. Because many of you are feeling like this wounded warrior. I don't know, life is tough. Every one of those ones is a battle I've fought. But I'm not giving up. Spirit is saying, excuse me, don't give up. Pardon me. But many of you are feeling haggard and worn out and done in and done by. Like this, you feel like every day is just a battle, a struggle, a conflict, competition, right? So Spirit is asking you, this is the Judgment card. This is such a beautiful depiction. This artist has depicted this, very different than the traditional Rider-Waite, which I love. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes, isn't it? Judgment card typically means a resurrection. It means people waking up. In the traditional Rider Waite, it's the Archangel Gabriel blowing his horns, people rising up out of their coffin from the dead. It means an awakening. So Spirit is saying, wake the heck up. Wake up, people. Be the phoenix here. Don't be dragged down by all this nonsense that the world would have you believe. Don't be Chicken Little running around with your head chopped off. Don't buy into that. We are a beautiful, creative species. We have the power if we only would take that power and get control of our minds. Because our minds are running rampant here. You know, they're focusing on the wrong things. We're focusing on all the things that are wrong. We're focusing on this can be bad news. Literally, I don't know why I went down this rabbit hole, but the energy here is strong for somebody out there, about bad news and news in general, and social media news, and getting sucked into that vortex. Because it's turning many of you cold-hearted. It's literally making many of you cold-hearted. And that's not the direction that we need to be going as a species out there. So much of it, 99% of what we're seeing in there on the news is heartbreaking, right? Guess what's happening? You're taking all that into your own energy field. Some of us feel like just isolating, calling a halt to life, and just not communicating with anybody, because it feels like the more we try, the more we fail sometimes. That's the defeatist attitude. And this is not a political statement or religious statement, but many of us feel like, some of you feel like you're manipulated. Some of us simply feel like we don't have what we need to get down the road in life. We don't have the resources that we need to make choices in our life, to be able to make an educated decision in our life. Many things need to end, though. Many things. Now, it's interesting, of all the cards, there are cards of endings in the tarot. This is my number one card, but it is interesting tarot gave me that, because back to the swords. The swords here talk about communication in tarot, thoughts, things we're thinking. In the reverse, this talks about someone having trouble getting over an ending, or letting go of something, letting go of an ending. You know, this is death by 1,000 cuts. So you can see the picture in the upright. And yet this person has just enough energy left in them. Their palm is up. This means I'm not giving up. It's almost like they're laying there with all these swords in the back, with the palm looking up to heaven, saying, God, can you pull these swords out for me? I'd really like to keep going here. And Spirit's saying, don't forget, y'all need to focus more on what you love in life. Find things that you love, that give you happiness, that lift your heart, that lift your energy, that lift your frequency. We are energetic beings. If you didn't know that, we are energetic beings. We vibrate at a certain frequency based on the choices you're making, the information you're taking in, the people you're surrounding yourself with, the substances you're using or not using, the food you're eating, how you're treating your body physically. Are you working out and exercising? Or are you just sitting in a chair all day? You know, those kinds of things. Those are all the different ways that we love ourselves and love each other. Yeah. So many people in this world are focused on material things right now. Overly material, selfish, self-absorbed, aggressive energies. And so they're frightened to be. It feels like people are just putting up their defenses left and right. They don't really feel it's safe to give their cup of love here. Some people are even getting to the extreme of feeling overly emotional, because so many of you feel you've been abandoned, whether that's abandoned by the government, abandoned by the religion, abandoned by in a relationship or a family dynamic, or by God himself. However you look at that, many of us feel kind of out in the cold, separated from life, and we just want some peace. We just want to move on away from choppy waters and find some peace. And all we see in our future is this cycle repeating itself where there's a lack of stability. Yeah. But Spirit's saying, okay, we got you. We hear you. But you're the one in control down there. We're just here observing, and we can't intervene with you. You have the power. You are creative beings. You are creators. You create through your thoughts and your thinking. This is not about doing. This is about thinking. Now, if you imagine the human body creates well over 60,000 thoughts a day, most of which you're not even aware of. It's just like you wake up in the morning and you're the gerbil and you get on the wheel. But you have the ability to disassociate yourself. You have another side. You have a higher self. You have an intelligence within you that's in every cell of your body that is quite distinctly different than the organ we call the brain. And that's what Spirit wants you to own. That's the distinction between you as a soul, you as a positive and powerful creator, versus somebody who's just going down the drain here in the world. So Spirit is saying, let go of that craziness. You have a choice here. You're choosing to ignore the truth. You're choosing to not see clearly, and that's causing the balance. You're doing this to yourself, people. If you're choosing, I'm just saying, right? Yeah, and it's Spirit saying, I know it's hard to walk away from that. Listen, I'm as addicted to my device as anybody else here because I have a YouTube channel. You know, it's hard not to be. But Spirit's saying, yeah, you need to get a new perspective on this. You need to liberate yourself. You need to liberate yourself because what you don't know is it's, excuse me, your confidence is being, oh, interesting, I just heard, diminished, attacked even. You're losing as a human being, you're losing your confidence in the world. And so many of us feel like, oh, I just can't. This is a student card. It talks about learning, and when it's in the verse, it's saying, many of you are not learning this lesson. You keep looking out at distant shores thinking, well, tomorrow my ships will come in. Tomorrow my ships will come in. And Spirit is saying, yes, they can, but you have to take some time out here. Now, whether this is time out where you take a vacation and go to the beach for a week, you go to a monastery for 6 weeks, or you just take 15 minutes out of your day to meditate, Spirit is saying you need to take some time to disassociate and unplug from the world, from news, from your devices, from all the things where we're becoming overstimulated. This is not the message I thought was going to come out here today, y'all, but I'm just channeling, so bear with me. Spirit saying, you need to be determined to do this, and it's going to be hard. It is an addiction. Devices, it's scientifically proven. Look it up. Being on your device constantly causes an addiction, a dopamine addiction. It's already documented, folks. Sadly, yes. And the worst scenario is, what now they're finding out is, it's also because you get to a certain tipping point where you can't get enough, that then now it's causing an epidemic of depression. So you'll notice there are trends in richer countries like the United States that you can, this is all news, scientific news. Now they're seeing an epidemic in depression because this whole cycle of dopamine release is causing, I'm not sure I'm using this word correctly. I want to say an epidemiology that, I'm not sure if that's the correct word to use there, but it's basically a syndrome, like a physical addiction. Like when you can't get what you need, like alcohol or any other substance, your body goes into withdrawal symptoms. And so when you get to a certain point where you just can't get enough social media, you can't take it in anymore enough to soothe that craving, you start getting depressed. Now, I might not have explained that like a good scientist would because I'm not one, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Now, I don't mean this to be depressing. What I'm saying is you have a choice here. And Spirit's saying, yay, just be determined, because this is the fastest moving energy in the tarot. And look at that. I love that this one has a big bright sun up here. It's saying, yes, but you can't be divided. This chariot can't move 2 inches if these horses aren't in unison about where they want to go and they're not focused on where they want to go. That's awesome. So everybody, let's make an agreement here. Pinky swear. We need to look at where we're overindulging, because that's causing this unhappiness for many of us. I mean, I'm not making this up. We need to put it down. It's a heavy burden, and it is affecting us on many levels. Physically, emotionally, energetically, certainly mentally. All this news and stuff. Yeah. I think I should stop, because there's just driving the point home now. Yeah, this is the card of, it is communication, yeah. Yeah. And it's confusing us. Too much information is confusing. It just is. And in many cases, it causes us to procrastinate about things that we really need to get done. Oh, I'm guilty of that, for sure. Spirit's saying, one more time, I'm going to tell you, you need to take time out like the hermit does. He takes time out. This card means he goes into his cave for reflection. He asks the divine, what do I need to know? What do I need to hear? Inspire me. And I need insight into how to go back out into the world. Oh, goodness, this is just, oh my God, I'm going to stop there. That message seems to be repeating, and it's not what I thought we would get today, but apparently we need to hear it. So that's awesome. So I'm going to leave you with this. What do you really want? What do you really love in life? That's what Spirit wants you to focus on. Birds in tarot can also talk about communication. So find a news source. There are one or two. If you just have to have your news, do it selectively and do it in very metered doses. Don't just binge with that. And if you are binging, binge with something that's supportive. Like here on YouTube, there are a lot of good channels that have nothing but videos about positive affirmations and healing. And there's music videos that are healing frequencies. And there's all kinds of meditation videos. All of that's here for you. It's all about making a choice. It's about making a conscious choice. It's about choosing where you want to put your energy and choosing things that you love, that feed your soul, that feed your heart, and energize you, not deplete you. Whew. I feel dizzy. I feel a little bit dizzy here. That was a lot coming through there for you guys today. Wow. I hope this benefits somebody out there, and I hope you don't... well, never mind. I hope that it benefits many people out there, because I know I certainly needed to hear it. Listen, people who deliver the messages like me, like readers, we often deliver the messages that we most need to hear. So I was listening, and I'll watch this again in the replay. Hope to see you guys soon. Please join me for my lives. They're a lot of fun. We have a really great supportive community there. And I'm going to wish you many, many blessings. So for today, that's your message. Unplug, meditate, find some peace, and do something you love. Okay. Many blessings.